Joining me now is Heather McDonald, Senior Fellow at the Manhattan Institute, author of The War on Cops. Heather, I know you are not surprised about the rampant crime you're seeing across this country, the fact that we still have these autonomous zones patrolled by people without any legal authority to shut down public access to areas. Yet this sign of hope in Colorado, I was flying back from Wyoming this morning, and I was actually trying to read all the local papers, and I found that to be welcome news in a crazy time.
It is, Laura. To the left, crime is a racist fiction. They simply do not acknowledge that it exists. And the biggest lie that defines the left today is that every disparity in America is the result of racism. Alternative explanations, such as the academic skills gap or cultural and behavioral differences, are not just not allowed. They'll get you branded as a racist. But reality will eventually assert itself. And what we're seeing today is a record-breaking increase in violent street crimes in city after city. 24 blacks are killed every day to absolutely no attention from the press. That's more than all white and Hispanic homicide victims combined, even though blacks are only 12% of the nation's population. Why? Because of this massive delegitimation of law enforcement, based on the phony idea that if blacks are arrested more or incarcerated more, the only allowable explanation is police racism. Here's the facts, Laura. Blacks commit violent crime at over 10 times the rate of whites, and they're victimized. They're killed by violent criminals at over 10 times the rate of whites. Not killed by cops, not killed by whites, but killed by other blacks. The reason blacks are in minority neighborhoods is to save black lives. And when the cops back off, which is what's happening across the country thanks to this phony, racist attack on law enforcement, black lives are the ones that are lost.
Well, President Obama spoke to a group of young men during his CNN special last night, and these were some of his inspiring words.
The relationship between police and community is not what we want it to be. Young black men, experience police not as a positive force to protect, but as somebody who is going to see you as a suspect or somebody to be feared.
Aside from the fact that he just sounds like he's completely off his game, Heather, how is this helping at all? How is anything that he just said helping?
It's poison. It's poison. I have spent so much time in Crown Heights, Brooklyn, in Harlem, talking to young black men who say, I need the police. I want the police. They don't harass me. Why? Because I'm a good boy. I'm quoting verbatim. That is simply not the case. Obama started this meme that Biden has picked up throughout his campaign, in his inauguration speech, in his George Floyd commemoration speech, that black parents are right to feel that their kids will be killed by a cop every time they step out the door. That is a complete lie. Blacks are killed at very high rates, not by cops, but by other blacks. And to continue this phony narrative about cop racism is eventually going to take the entire country down. Crime is now spreading out of the inner city. The carjackings in Philadelphia and D.C. and Chicago are terrifying. It's not staying put.
But Heather, at the same time, is bail reform is their big thing. So abolish the prisons, abolish police, and then do bail reform, meaning no cash bail. So the people are arrested, they're turned out on the street the next day to commit the same crime they just committed in a different neighborhood. Sometimes in D.C., a friend told me the other day, in the same neighborhood. So that it's a revolving door. And we're supposed to go, oh, you're so wonderful. Thank you, Mark Zuckerberg, for your efforts. Or thank you, name your billionaire, for your efforts in donating to these groups. And it's preposterous. Heather, you're one of the sane voices on this. And you actually go into these neighborhoods and do these interviews. Thank you.